E-petitions 727360 and 727356 relating to the qualifying period for indefinite leave to remain. As many of that opinion say aye. Aye. On the contrary, no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it.
On Monday, September the 8th, 2025, over 9,500 people tuned in live as MPs debated whether skilled workers and B&O visa holders should wait for 5 years or 10 years before applying for indefinite leave to remain. For more details on the e-petition that got this debate going, watch our previous video, which went into the specifics of each petition. Here's the 30-second summary. This debate was only about ILR for skilled workers and B&O visa holders. The government says there will be a consultation at the end of 2025. No final date was provided. Skilled workers may face a 10-year route unless they prove contributions beyond taxes. B&O visas could not be guaranteed as remaining on the 5-year route. Crucially, the minister refused to say if changes will apply retrospectively. That's the bottom line, and it leaves thousands of migrants still in limbo. Now, let's break this down and uncover what really happened in the debate. Hello, we're Reiss Solicitors, a UK-based immigration and family law firm with over 15 years of experience helping families, workers, and businesses navigate complex UK immigration rules. We've helped thousands of clients secure visas and overturn refusals, and we're proud of our 1,000 5-star reviews. In this video, I won't just recap the debate. I'll explain what MPs said, what the new immigration minister revealed, and most importantly, what you should do right now to protect your future in the UK. This debate came after a May 2025 white paper proposing doubling the ILR pathway from 5 years to 10 years. 2 petitions signed by more than 270,000 people triggered this debate in Westminster Hall. It wasn't about passing a law, but about pressing government for answers. And because this was also the new Labour immigration minister's first day on the job, the pressure was intense. MPs focused on 2 urgent questions. Will changes apply to people already in the UK? And when will the government finally give clear answers? The fact that almost 10,000 people tuned in live shows just how high the stakes are. So, what did MPs say? If you watched the debate live, you'd notice it was heavily one-sided. Almost every MP said, don't move the goalposts. Only one Conservative MP defended the government's plan. And that really stood out. Why so one-sided? Because this was not a full Commons debate. It was a petition debate in Westminster Hall. These sessions are not binding, attendance is voluntary, and the MPs who show up are usually the ones most sympathetic to the petition. That's why you didn't hear from Reform MPs, even though they take a hard line on immigration in the media. Petition debates rarely attract them. Most of the voices in the room were Labour MPs, plus some from smaller parties. Conservative MPs largely stayed away, either because they didn't want to defend a controversial policy or simply because petition debates don't force them to. Now, what did those who did attend actually say? They hammered the same themes: fairness, trust, and stability. One MP compared the situation to running a marathon and halfway through being told the finish line had moved. Another said bluntly, we keep our word. Others reminded Parliament that migrants aren't just statistics. B&O visa holders were highlighted in particular. MPs stressed that this was a humanitarian visa, not an economic one. To move the goalpost now, they warned, would be a betrayal of trust and could even hand Beijing a propaganda victory. Some also emphasized the economic contributions migrants already make. For example, around 40% of those that would be on the 10-year route work in health and social care. MPs argued that forcing them into decade-long limbo undermines the NHS, the economy, and family stability. But then came one dissenting voice. A lone Conservative MP argued that settlement is too short at 5 years. Skilled workers are a cost on resources, and fairness to British citizens must come before fairness to migrants. In a room full of MPs demanding clarity and compassion, That solitary intervention highlighted just how skewed this debate was in tone, not because of all Parliament feeling this way, but because of who showed up. At around 7 p.m, the new Immigration Minister gave his first official statement. Here's what he said. A formal consultation will happen by the end of 2025. No date yet for a final decision. Settlement is a privilege and not a right. The immigration system does not work, and reforms are meant to reduce reliance on overseas workers whilst encouraging UK employers to train local staff. Skilled workers may face a 10-year route unless they prove contributions beyond just tax, though what counts as extra contribution was not defined. B&O visas remain on the 5-year route for now, but no guarantee. And on whether these rules will apply retrospectively, he refused to give an answer. In short, lots of words, little clarity. So, what does all of this mean? First of all, the petition worked. MPs pushed hard on your behalf, but the government is stalling. Migrants remain in uncertainty until at least the consultation at the end of 2025. The minister's phrase, settlement is a privilege, not a right, is significant. Expect to hear it again. Contributions beyond taxes is vague and potentially worrying. Will volunteering count? Critical sector jobs? Nobody knows. For B&O holders, the lack of reassurance is alarming. The government is no longer promising stability. For skilled workers, the biggest risk is retrospection. If the rule changes midway through, could the finish line move from 5 years to 10 years? That's the unanswered question. What happens next in Parliament? Here's a roadmap. First of all, consultation at the end of 2025. Second of all, a white paper setting out final proposals. Next, a statement of changes, the legal document that updates the immigration rules. And finally, the debate and approval before any changes become law. Until then, the 5-year rule still applies. So, what action should you take? If you're nearing your 5-year ILR mark, apply immediately. Don't wait for consultations or final decisions. If you're midway through your visa journey, stay calm. Current rules still apply. Start preparing evidence now, proof of contribution, community work, or shortage sector employment. This could matter in the future. And most importantly, stay engaged. These changes will unfold step by step and will guide you through each one. This debate showed huge public concern and a government keeping its options open. So, I want to hear from you. Should skilled workers and B&O holders already in the UK be protected from retrospective changes? What do you think? What does contributions beyond tax mean? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you found this useful, hit subscribe, turn on the bell, and watch our previous video on what was at stake in this debate. And remember, your UK journey deserves clarity and fairness, and we'll be here every step of the way.